So you may have seen this question online, you may have been asking it yourself. At one point I asked the same question. Is the SV650S a good first bike? Yo, what is going on, dudes? Hopefully everyone is doing okay. So I thought we'd speak a wee bit more about the bike, the SV650. So we've had it now for probably about 6 weeks or so. I mean, we've not done too many miles on it, maybe 200 or 300 miles on it roughly. So whether that makes me experienced enough on this bike to answer the question, is this a good first bike? I'm going to try and answer it anyway. We'll go into like the pros and the cons and stuff, but short answer, yeah, I think it is. I think it is a good first bike. So when I say I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, for me there's not really been any cons, it's been more personal preference, you know. So let's talk about the bike itself. It's a nice looking bike, you know, it is a nice looking bike. Power wise, I think it's about 74 horsepower. When you think about it, 74 horsepower, it doesn't really sound like a lot, does it? But for your first bike, I think that's more than enough power. You know, she's not going to beat any sports bikes, she's not going to win any quarter mile races against something like that, but she is comfortable to ride and she does pretty much everything that you need it to do. Plenty of overtaking power, she can get up to the speed limits really fast. Fuel wise, I mean, she's really good on fuel. To fill it up from almost empty, I'm probably about 11 or 12 pound in the UK. The bike is comfortable, it's a comfortable bike to ride, it's really easy to ride. You know, I came from like the Suzuki Bandit, from the training, to the clip-ons. Well, I'll get to the clip-ons in a minute. So I'd never ridden a bike with clip-ons before, and you know, adapted to it really easy. You know, it certainly wasn't something that took days and days. It was literally, you know, on the ride home from picking up the bike. The seat's not too bad. I mean, I've not really had too much problems with the seat, and you know, I've been riding it for maybe like an hour, hour and a half at times, and it's been fine. The clip-ons themselves, they're fairly comfortable once you get used to them. I don't think they're that great for slow manoeuvre stuff, see, doing like U-turns and things like that. Probably down to my skill level rather than the clip-ons. So for practicing Mod 1 stuff, maybe clip-ons aren't your best bet. But the thing I found about the clip-ons is after riding them for a while, I just get really uncomfortable and really sore and cramped up. When I first got the bike, it was literally after about 20 minutes. You know, I could feel my wrist starting to cramp, the weight, you know, if you're kind of leaning on your wrists on the handlebars. Yeah, it was kind of a wee bit unbearable, but now that I've had it for a while, I think my muscles and my body's adjusted to that, so I can go for maybe 3/4 of an hour, so a big difference. But again, that's just me. I've got elbow and wrist problems, so that doesn't mean that you're going to have exactly the same problem. You could try the clip-ons and absolutely love them, but we have got a solution for the clip-ons though. I've got myself a conversion kit, handlebar conversion kit, so we're getting that fitted soon. So it'll be nice to see what the bike's like and how it handles. Apparently it's better handling, but we'll see, and obviously more comfortable for longer rides and stuff. So I'll maybe do a wee video on that, give you an update, see what the difference is between the two of them. Obviously we're going to be sitting a lot more upright rather than kind of leant over. But like I said, that's personal preference, that's my own preference to these handlebars. You know, I'm just not keen on them that much. You know, they're fine when you're just tottering along and, you know, doing your own thing, but after a while, yeah, they're not for me. And the same, like I said, the slow manoeuvre stuff, I find it kind of difficult. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the turn-on circle on this bike's like. I've never really tried to do it and see what it's like, but whether it's quite wide or, again, it's just probably down to me. If you pick one up, you might absolutely love the clip-ons and have absolutely zero issue. It's definitely down to the rider. It's definitely nothing to do with the bike. Don't let clip-ons put you off, because it is a really nice bike to ride. So let's talk about the power of the bike. Like I said at the start of the video, there's about 74 horsepower. I think it's like 73.4 or something like that, which doesn't sound a lot, but I mean, if you're coming from a 125, nice car, coming from a 125 onto this, there's a big difference. There is a big difference. So although there's a lot of power there, I find it quite manageable. You know, it's not like scary. You can scare yourself on it. Obviously, you can scare yourself on any bike, but it's definitely manageable. The gearbox is so smooth as well. Such a smooth gearbox. I've had not one issue going up and down the gears, and the brakes are pretty damn good. I mean, I don't have too much to compare it to. The only thing I can really compare it to is the likes of my wee Yamaha YBR 125 and a couple of Suzuki Bandits that I read while I was training. And for me, the brakes on this thing are by far the best brakes that I've used. And you can sit really comfortably, you know, at dual carriageway or motorway speeds, you know, without too much effort or anything, you know. Obviously you've got a bit of wind to deal with, but the top fairing definitely cuts that down a wee bit. Moving about at slow speeds is nice and easy as well. Not slow manoeuvres like U-turns and stuff, you know, just creeping along in traffic and stuff. It's a breeze, there's no problems whatsoever. Nice easy clutch, nice responsive throttle. So as for myself as a rider, I'm getting used to the SV. I still feel that I'm a wee bit slow through the corners. You know, I'm just gaining that confidence as a rider and my rider skill. I'd rather go a wee bit too slow into the corner and then come out the corner nice and smooth than go too fast and end up in a field or something. So I just like taking my time on the bike through these twisties. I mean, I'm only doing 45-50 miles an hour, you know, sometimes slower. It's just gaining that confidence and trust in the bike, I guess. But I've never had any issues with the bike so far. In the right hands, I'm sure this thing could absolutely fly through these roads. But yeah, they're not my hands. Ah, look at those hills, man. But it's a cloudy day, but never mind. Oh, David Stirling there. Oh man, it's so much fun riding a bike. It's so much fun, dude. Right, so let's talk about the cons of the bike. I'll be absolutely honest with you, I've not found any cons as such. There's not something like, I was like, damn it, I absolutely hate that on this bike. There's nothing like that on this bike. The only things that I'm not too keen on, again, personal preference, is the clip-ons and the mirrors. You can see somewhat behind you, but I was having a look online and I saw that you could get these mirror extenders for the SV, where you just kind of bolt it on and then it kicks your mirrors out another inch or so. So that's something I might look into. I mean, it's not bad. I can see behind me. It's sometimes you got to kind of peek right out to get a kind of decent view rather than just having a wee look at your mirrors. Oh, dead fly. Oh, this is a bumpy piece of road, dude. Holy sh**. And I'm not mechanically minded at all. I'm kind of starting to do a wee bit of research, you know, into kind of looking after the bike more, looking after the engine and stuff. But obviously I'm in a lucky position where my brother is a bike mechanic. You know, he works for Suzuki, so any questions I can always just ask him. He's actually doing the conversion for me as well, so he's kindly doing that for me, because I would be there for days trying to do that. I've got the Haynes manual, but dude, oh man, it does sound really cool. And this is just the stock exhaust on it as well. You can get aftermarkets and stuff. I'm not going to be doing that to it, but you can get all that stuff if that tickles your fancy. Oh man, I just love it. I just love it. I mean, I could honestly cruise about through little twisties just 30-40 miles an hour all day long, man. And I'd be as happy as Larry. Don't get me wrong, I've been on a few pieces of road where you get to open it up a bit, and that's been a lot of fun. But I can feel myself as a rider gradually getting quicker. You know, not stupidly quick where I cause problems for myself or anybody else, but just a more confident rider. But you know, I've only been past my test 6 weeks, you know, so I'm not expecting any miracles. So I'm quite happy just to go at my own pace, ride my own ride. And honestly, for me, the SV is the perfect bike for that. So is it a good first bike? Hell yeah. I would definitely recommend that you put the SV into the running for a possible bike, because they're just such a nice bike. They're fairly comfortable, they're easy to ride, they're good on the fuel, and you can have a bit of fun, you know. As long as you're sensible, you know, you can have a bit of fun. I'll go and see if I can find somewhere nice and quiet to stop. You would have saw it in my last video anyway, but I like looking at it. So I do have a couple more videos in the works at the moment. We were over in Ireland recently at the Cookstown 100, and I managed to get quite a bit of footage on my phone. You were kind of restricted in how quickly you could move between paddock and racetrack and things like that. So I'm going to try and put something together, whether it's just a wee highlight video or something, I'm not too sure yet. If I can't put anything together, it's no big deal, you know. It was my first kind of time at a road race, so it was just trying to take it all in, you know. Maybe even just make a short Instagram video or something with it. But I've started putting together a kind of a bike license video, you know, how to get your license in the UK, because I know it's different in different countries, isn't it? Each country has their own way of passing or getting your permit, I think some countries call it, whereas in the UK you have to get like a full-blown license in order to ride something like this. I'm also working on a Mod 2 video, just things to do, things to watch out for, you know, myths, because there are a lot of myths about your Mod 2. So I've got a few things in the works. So if you do have any questions about the SV in general, feel free to ask me. I will try and answer them the best that I can. If you're thinking about picking one up or just looking for some general info on the bike, I'll try and answer it. But this one is obviously the S, the SV650S. It has the fare and it has the clip-ons. You do get the N version, which is the naked version. That has like the bandit style bars on it, but it doesn't have fare on anything. You got a bit more wind to deal with. The only thing I haven't done with the bike yet is pillion passenger. So that's something that we need to do as well, because we are going on a few trips next year on the bike. We're going to the Isle of Man next year, and also planning on doing the NC 500. If you're unaware of that, it's the North Coast 500 in Scotland. It's basically round the coast of Scotland, and it's roughly 500 miles. So that'll take us a few days, so that should be fun. So I'm not too sure what that's going to be like yet. I want to get my own confidence up, you know, and make sure that I'm solid on the bike before I think about putting someone on the back. And I'm probably going to wait until I've got the conversion kit anyway. So yes, we've still got all that to come, but plenty of time. We're going to check this fuel station down here. I know the school I train with, they occasionally train with the Mod 1 stuff down here, so I'll go and check it out. If it's quiet, we can stop and have a wee look around the bike. I'm not going to stop if they're down there training, obviously. Oh man, it's windy today, dude. Woo, it's windy. Oh yeah, they got everything set out. Right, we won't go down there. I don't want to disturb them when they're training. We'll go down to this wee industrial estate. Should be a wee quiet spot down here. That'll do. So yes, there she is. So she's a nice bike. She's a 2003, and there is a few kind of age-related marks here and there. I mean, all that's going to come off. A few wee scratches here and there, but in general she's in pretty good nick. She's in pretty good nick. This one, obviously, the belly pan, I'm sure that's aftermarket. That doesn't come as standard with the K3 model. But I like it. Definitely as a first bike, it's definitely something you need to have, you know, on the cards anyway. You know, even if you can get a chance to go and test ride one first. I didn't test ride this when I bought it, because obviously I didn't have my license when I bought it. I bought it before I passed, before all this lockdown pandemic started. So yes, I didn't test ride it, but I was going on the recommendations of people who've had one, and my brother's worked on a lot of them, he's raced them, you know, so I was going on those recommendations, and yeah, I think I made a good choice, and it does sound really nice. Oh, she's nice sounding, she's nice. In terms of comfort as well, like ride height, I'm about 5'9" and I can get like the balls on my feet and my toes down. And obviously if you're sitting at traffic lights, you know, right foot in the brake, you know, nice and comfortable, you know, left foot's flat down, no issues whatsoever. So that is my 650S. Hopefully you found some of this useful, you know, if you're thinking about getting one, or you're just looking into possible bikes for it, if you're passing your test, or you're just looking for, you know, a bigger bike if you just ride like about in a 125 or a 400 or whatever, or maybe you want to go for something a bit bigger and faster. That's absolutely fine, but I can't give you any recommendations on that. But the one thing I can recommend is the SV650S. Great little bike, absolutely phenomenal little bike. Like I said, if you've got any questions about it, feel free to ask me in the comments, or you can catch me on Twitter and Facebook as well. I'll try my best to answer them. If I don't know, I'll definitely try and find out to help you out. But anyway guys, the answer to the question is yes, absolutely. I would absolutely recommend this as a first bike. Manageable power, enough power to have a lot of fun on, easy to ride, you know, what's not to like about that. Brakes are good, gearbox is good, engine's good, yeah, and you can pick them up for not too expensive nowadays, you know. And insurance and tax and stuff wasn't too bad on this. I am a car driver as well, so whether that helped my insurance quote and stuff. But anyway dudes, hopefully you found this video useful. If you have guys, click on that like button. I really do appreciate every single one of your likes. And of course, if you want to see all of my uploads, click on that subscribe button and ring the bell while you're there. You'll get notified of all of my uploads. But until next time guys, stay safe, take it easy.